Alright, let's do this. So this game has its own fair share of glitches. I will try to explain them as best as I can as I go along. So what I did there is I changed the neutral position of the stick, which lets me go at quite faster speed on horses and in towns. You will see this quite a few times throughout the run. Yeah, these guys you can just jump through for whatever reason, if you get it right frame. Again, I changed the neutral position of the stick to go at super speed in towns. Here I changed to Sasuke until I get Yae later in the game, because they are both the fastest characters. Again, change the neutral position to go faster on the horse. Yeah, sometimes you enter the pause menu if you don't do it perfectly. But it's nothing too major. If you hit pause at the right time after hitting an entry pass, you can skip the loading animation. So the next thing coming up is this game's version of the chain pipe skip. If you hit the blocks at the right frame, you can clip right through them. It takes a little practice to do. Other than that, this stage is pretty straightforward. I am going to be picking up every extra life that lies on the way, just to be safe. This isn't really meant to be a run anyway. Ah, come on. I only really have the timer on the screen for good measure. So on the upcoming mini-boss, I will be skipping his fire breath by hitting a bomb, by throwing a bomb at the right time, which makes him not do his fire breath, which saves quite a lot of time. Just like this. And that's it already. Ah, fuck. This won't let me skip the circle of these stones. So because I don't have a level 3 weapon right now, these next... Oh, never mind. I got really lucky then. But yeah, as I was going to say, if you don't have a level 3 weapon for this side quest here, it takes quite a while longer. I didn't get the pause screen skip here. It saves about a second, it's nothing too major. So Edo Castle has a lot of nifty skips compared to the other castles. It's pretty optimized. It also has the hardest jump in the game, so I hope I won't die. And everything else should be pretty much self-explanatory. It's just damage boosts, really. Ah, come on. Yeah, that's not a good sign. But I will do the damage skip anyway, just to demonstrate it. This run is already ass anyway, so I don't care about it. There we go. That's the first damage boost. Let's hope I do this. So this jump was basically the hardest in the game. It can kill you quite easily if you don't jump at the right frame. Coming up next will be another trick abusing the ability to change the neutral position of the stick, because it doesn't only work on horses and on towns, also works on poles. So I saved quite a few seconds there by just jumping all the way up. Here I'm taking the damage of the fists on purpose, because it saves quite a chunk of time and there's 2 health drops right up anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. What's up, Luca? Or I guess it's you, Luke. I'm just going to assume. Because I don't remember your Twitch name. Alright, so here's another damage boost that also saves a lot of time. And that's pretty much it for Edo Castle already. Picking up another life here, just to be sure. So the first boss coming up is pretty random. What you want to do is you want to skip the phase where he causes impact to hit his own head, because while he does that he doesn't shoot out any more balls, so you don't want this to happen. You want him dead in the first 4 cycles. So I screwed it up there. I needed one more hit, and as you can see, this phase just loses unnecessary time. And next up is the best part of the game. In the Japanese version you can skip the first impact theme, but for the second time and everything afterwards you can just skip it. Dash. So these impact fights aren't really random. Most bosses follow a set pattern and react according to how much HP they have left, and I'm trying my best to abuse this to the best of my abilities. There we go, that was pretty good. This way I skipped the phase where she transforms and I can't hit her anymore. And that's the first impact fight. So on the next world there's not really much to explain for a while, so I'm just going to focus on playing and hope I don't die. It doesn't really matter too much if you waste some time on this half, because you're waiting for the platform to come anyway, and there's no way to get the first cycle. Same for this one. Generally, there's a lot of RNG manipulation you can do in this game, be it enemy spawns or health or weapon drops. I'm always pretty careful on this water slide here, because if you jump to the second half while still being too low, you basically fall out of bounds. Because this is a N64 game, so that happens quite a lot if you don't pay attention. Other than that, these Ryu Island stages are pretty straightforward. That is up until you get Yay, at least. Or Yai, to use the right pronunciation. So here I'm going to leave the town as soon as I enter it. So I can leave it via the pause menu once I've done everything I need to do. I'm picking up a rice ball here, but I won't be using it for quite some time. You will see what I need it for when the time comes. I just need to be careful and not lose it before that time comes. So I'm doing this stage again to pick up another entry pass at night. So because I'm a little too fast here, I need to wait. Because if I enter this cave, the Kappa won't spawn. So I'm just going to stand here for a second, and that should be enough. There we go. Yeah, as you just saw, having level 3 weapon at night on the Japanese version is actually worse than having level 2. Because unlike the Western versions, ghosts only take 2 hits in the Japanese version. Well, that was pretty unlucky. I hope I don't die. That ink usually doesn't hit you. So here's another chain pipe skip, and that's the reason I didn't switch to Yai yet, even though I already unlocked her. I will be doing that on the next stage. So once I switch to Yai, I will be doing another fun clip, which you will see in a second. From here on out I won't have to switch characters ever again, because Yai is just that broken. So by hitting the right spot here and tackling into the ground and waggling the stick around, you will eventually pop out and can basically save quite a lot of time. That was a pretty decent clip too. I am pretty happy about that. These mermaid Yai clips can be pretty tricky and take a lot of practice, but you will quickly get a feel for it. Now I just gotta be careful not to die again, because I want to keep my rice ball, even though it's not too important to, well, it is important in a real run, but it's not that terrible if you lose it right now, because you can still just buy a new one while you're still on Ryu Island. Harder to do once you finished it. And that's Ryu Island. And I just noticed I forgot to split, so that's nice. There we go, that's more like it. So Ryu Castle is also pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of small tricks that you can do to save time. I will see if I can get them. But I will probably end up being a little more careful just to save my rice bomb, which is the top priority. But yeah, this is pretty much the shortest castle in the game. And also the easiest. In my opinion, at least. missed a life there. So if you jump into the middle of these platforms, you basically dodge the spikes. That's a pretty fun trick. But it's also pretty dangerous. So I would not recommend doing it if you're not at full health. Ah, well, that was a waste. Ah, fuck, come on. I'm going to pick up these safety health pickups there, just in case. So when you're underwater as Mermaid Yai, you can basically, well, you're basically invincible, because this tackle attack here is basically a 99% invincibility frames. You will see more of that later on. Oh well, you can see it here already. And of course I got unlucky there and was hit once, but it's not really enough. It's nothing major, I mean. So this was the first out of 3 golden cats that we pick up in this route. Simply because it's not out of your way and it never hurts to get it. Especially this one. And it makes this upcoming boss a little more easy. So for this upcoming fun part, the best you can do is jump as, well, rhythmically as you can, so you don't lose too much time in the water. But it's more or less an auto-scroller, so there's not much time to be lost. And there's no way the spike ball hits you in this version anyway. You won't even see it, because that's just how slow it goes in the Japanese version. Because usually you're meant to be chased by a spike ball that hits you if you go too slow. By doing Yai's floaty jump here, you can jump straight from platform to platform without hitting the water, and that also lets you hit his lightning. That also lets you dodge his lightning attack. But even then, it doesn't matter too much if you get hit, because we will be dying on the first stage after this castle anyway. So there's not much time you can gain or lose on this fight, because as you can see I'm just destroying these set spawns of spools or whatever you want to call them. And you do this 4 times and he's dead. Or well, not dead, he's going to escape and we will defeat him with impact. Yeah, that was a little sloppy. But as I said, it doesn't matter too much. So this next impact fight is pretty much just as easy as the first, but you gotta be more careful with your beams, because this little fishy is a little more slippery, so you gotta be sure before you fire it. But other than that, this fight is a joke. And on a random note, you only want to end the Yakuritsu Punchy with a kick if you have the beam ready, because it knocks the bosses down long enough for you to be sure to hit them with your beam. That's pretty much the only reason. And that's the second impact fight. So coming up next is the only auto-scroller in the game, but thankfully we found a way around it. It's a pretty fun trick, you will enjoy it. So what I did there is I used the damage boost to land into the water that would otherwise kill me instantly, and while I'm still in the invincibility frames from the damage boost, I can transform before I die, which causes the rise pole to revive me, and this way I can just swim all the way under level and dodge all these nasty auto-scroller parts. It's pretty much the biggest glitch in the game, but you gotta be careful not to swim down too far, because if you do that, you will die instantly. And here we just use a floaty jump to go back in bounds and end the level. About a minute faster than it was intended to be done. So here I'm abusing the neutral position glitch again, which lets me jump over these bomb blocks, I mean, which usually require Sasuke to destroy, which saves us from switching characters. So here I'm taking damage to not get one-shot by these spikes. But it's just a normal damage boost, nothing fancy. Ah, fuck. That was sloppy. Wow, that was a close one. These guys usually require 3 hits to kill, but you can just jump over them. So why bother? So on this stage you will see more of the invincibility frames on the mermaid tackle. I'm going to pick up, well, or not I guess, which means I gotta be really careful here. And don't depend on the invincibility frames too much, because I don't want to die here. But yeah, these jellyfish usually hurt you when you go through them. And there we go, that's the first death of the run. Not at the part where I expected it to be, but alright I guess. It doesn't lose too much time, so it's okay. Well, I guess I did end up losing quite a chunk of time. But it doesn't really matter for this run. So here's another fun glitch that is caused by us skipping the first stage pretty much. This guy gives us an entry pass even though he's not supposed to give us one. And that basically breaks the whole game. Or well, the whole game. It breaks this town. So as you can see, or hear rather, the music is gone. And it will stay gone until the time of day changes, which probably won't happen while we are here. Well, never mind. That shows just how slow I am. But yeah, this is just a short little fetch quest. The order of wells is always the same too. And this is the last one, so we can just exit the stage and skip the whole entry pass get animation. So yeah, because nighttime in this game is pretty harsh and makes this game a lot harder, if you want to try to minimize the amount of night stages you will have to do and do only the easier ones if you have to do them. But yeah, there's not much to say about the stage, it's pretty straightforward. You just need to be careful not to softlock the game, so you need to make sure to not have any enemies on screen as you spawn this raccoon, because sometimes they make the game just die for whatever reason. So I was extra careful just then. So Margin Castle is also pretty straightforward for the most part. There will be one hard jump to do, and that's pretty much it. A few damage boosts again, nothing major. It's probably my favorite castle just because it's so smooth. If you do it right, of course. Ah, come on. So much for smooth, I guess. I shouldn't have said anything. So by using the same jump pattern as on the Rigo Castle auto-scroller, you can go through these trips and parts rather easily. So we'll leave this guy alive so we can jump up here. Or not, I guess. Because up there there's another golden fortune pad, which is pretty handy, especially in this castle. But you shouldn't waste more than 2 tries on it, because it's not worth getting if you take that long to get it. So this damage boost I just attempted there is only worth getting sometimes. And because I screwed up, I have to kill myself here, because I don't have enough health. But yeah, as I was saying, if you don't get this damage boost to the top route, it's not really worth pursuing any longer, because the bottom route is actually a lot faster. So if you don't get the damage boost, just follow the bottom route. Ah, come on. Yeah, these are basically the most annoying enemies in the game. Because their tears are just so fucking annoying. So you want to kill them as quickly as you can before they start crying. So this is a pretty tricky jump. As you just saw. It usually takes me a few more tries than that. But yeah, using Ya's floaty jump again, we save the time having to skip to Sasuke. So we can just keep going without having to switch characters. Yeah, this one guillotine I just got hit by is pretty hard to avoid. Because if you jump too high you get hit, and if you jump too low you die. It just takes practice. Just like everything else in this game. Because it is a pretty hard game, even though the Japanese version is a little more easier. But it's still a pretty hard platformer. Pretty much the hardest on the N64, I'd say. Seeing as how you can only get hit 3 times. And there's not that many lives you can collect throughout the game. But I guess while I'm at version differences, I could explain that the Japanese version has a lot less enemies spawned throughout each level. Well, some of them are basically the same, but they are very minor. Other than that, the enemies take less hits to be killed. It's usually around 1 hit less for each enemy. Here I'm waiting for a high wave, so I can hit the next platform without taking damage. That's just a safety strat, it's not really required. If you're fast enough to do this next part here and not take any damage, you can just go for it. But for the sake of doing a somewhat safe route, I'm just going to do it like this. Again, another damage boost, which saves us switching to Ebisumaru, who's not used in this run at all, compared to Mystical Ninja Star and Goemon, where he puts in most of the work. So these pots are kinda tricky because the top is a little, well, it's a little weird, so you want to stay on the, well, I don't know what to call it, stay on the upper parts so you don't, so the game won't eat your jump input. So this guy is a joke. You just want to try to minimize his amount of cycles as much as you can. Sadly there's no way to skip this phase, but that's just how it is, I guess. So you always want to hit this ghost 3 times, because then you can 3-cycle him. It's also important to get this first hit in here, because that way you skip him going to the side of the stage and throwing boulders at you, which saves about, well, I'd say 20 seconds. So it's quite a major skip. So this next impact fight is basically the easiest one in the game, because this guy likes to get personal and get in your face all the time. So you can just Yakuretsu punch him to death. Because he's a nice guy like that. This is also the only boss where I'm not mashing the Z button. Because if you shoot Ryu too quickly, he does his one-hit kill attack, and you don't want that because, well, it doesn't one-hit you, but it wastes a lot of time. So it's better to just take it kinda slow on this guy. And that should be it for this fight. Or I guess not. He still has a little too much. Well, it's not surprising that I'm losing time here. I died twice and I entered the castle with plus 25. Or 24 still. So it's not surprising. And I had a pretty bad margin castle in my PB as well, so whatever. This is not meant to be a PB attempt anyway. So this next world is also pretty straightforward. There will be a few floaty jumps to avoid switching characters, but other than that it's just try to go as fast as you can while not getting hit as much. But yeah, it's just memorization in general, this game. Because there's close to no RNG, except for a few bosses. But yeah, as you can see, there's nothing exciting about this world basically. It's just good old going fast without any glitches or anything like that. Well, at least not many. You're meant to switch characters a lot more in this world, basically. But because, as I said before, Yai is broken and can't do everything on her own. So that was another floaty jump, which usually requires Ibisumaru to get up there. But we don't need anyone else. So this damage boost right here requires it to be night. Because otherwise the ghost won't be there and you can't get up there as Yai. So next we will be going to town before doing the alternative exit to the stage and pick up another entry pass, which is quite a fun one. We'll have to play hide and seek with a bunch of kids, but they're not really good at hide and seek, so they're always hidden in the same places. It's not really set, but it's not really RNG either. Some kids are always in the same place, and some switch between 2 and or 3 spots where they can hide. So you just gotta check on those. And you should get through this little side quest quick enough. Oh, come on. There we go. That was pretty sloppy, but it was my fault. So this blonde kid is always in the same spot. This was a potential spot. The blue kid is usually up here. The yellow kid, I mean. There we go. One more to go. There we go. And we can just skip this like the other quest animations. So by doing this quest at night, we basically skipped having to do this stage at night, because night stages are the devil, and they waste way too much time because they are quite hard, even on this version. But yeah, these stages are pretty easy, all things considered. So this is a really fun world because of it. Just good old going fast. So this castle is pretty uneventful. There are no skips. The only thing you can save time on basically is the boss fight. I'm also playing it safe here. You can usually jump these rocks by just jumping over them, but it's a pretty tight timing. So I tend to just wait a second. This guy also has fixed patterns. He always hits the same stones. Which means you can just memorize when you have to stand still and when you can keep going. You can usually just jump over these guys as well. Saves a bit of time. I should be careful here. I don't want to die. Because dying is bad and always wastes the most time. But yeah, it's pretty easy to die in this game. I'm surprised I haven't died more than I have at this point. But it's still early. I can still game over pretty easily. Because as I said, this game is quite hard. And there's no shame in dying. Well, unless you're doing world record attempts, which I'm still 9 minutes away from at this point in time. Which is still a pretty good time for a 1.5 hour long game. I think, at least. Call it an excuse or whatever, I don't really care. Ah, shit. Yeah, you really need to be careful on this part, because you can easily go too far and just die by falling. Yeah, this is basically the most annoying part of the castle. I always try to be careful here, just because I don't want to die. Because dying here wastes a lot of time. Yeah, I really gotta be careful here. Oh, got a lucky drop. And that's basically the castle already. There's not much else to it. This last part is a little annoying because it has a very low ceiling. So yeah, this is probably the boss that takes the longest. You can get some extra hits in if you do that right timing, but it's really tricky. I don't really like this boss. even though it is a boss fight from a straight game design perspective. But it's awful for speedrunning, like so many things in games these days. Not that this is a new game. I don't know what I'm saying, so don't mind me. And that's it. The next impact fight is also pretty easy. Well, all impact fights are easy except for the last one. Because on the last one you really need to pay attention to your Ryu. Because you can easily run dry. It's the only fight where you have to pay attention to that. Oh, I didn't have the beam ready already, yet. That's a pity. But yeah, I think the impact fights and simply not dying is where I can save the most time. It wasn't ready again. That was not what I should have done in that situation. That was terrible. Yeah, by using the beam while he does this orb of light, you can basically just despawn the orb. It's just a fun little trick. Yeah, that was a pretty sloppy fight, I'll admit it. So up next is the last world in the game. It's quite tricky, and I will probably do a lot of save strats. Timing is very important, because you want it to be night at a certain time. So you gotta pay attention to that. So by holding Z while entering the stage, or Z if you're a filthy American, you can basically skip half of the stage for whatever goddamn reason. I guess it's still some sort of debug command that they forget to remove as they ship the game. But I don't care too much. It's there and I'm going to abuse it. So the stage here is pretty simple. You use a lot of floaty jumps, nothing else to it, and try to go as fast as you can, I guess. The only important thing is that you try to keep at least 2 health points remaining as you exit the stage, because if you use this trick where you hold the Z button, then you're guaranteed to lose 1 health point, because you always get hit by one of the enemies, no matter what you do. And you don't want to die, so you need to make sure to have at least 2 health points. The rest of the stage is just going fast at this point. And there's some lag reduction going on as well. So while we do this stage, it will turn nighttime, which is basically the best timing you can have, because you won't have to do a stage during nighttime. Well, we will be doing the next stage in nighttime for a few seconds, but it's nothing too big. A pretty good platform cycle here. Gotta be careful of this ghost. He likes to kill you. Ah, come on. That's what I get for playing around. But yeah, pretty straightforward stage, not much to say about it. Same thing as always, exiting the stage as soon as you enter it for the first time, so you can leave it via the pause menu, which requires you to have left the city once. Yeah, this is just sloppy neutral position manipulation here. If you're doing it perfectly, you won't even enter the pause menu, but it's really tricky. I have my troubles with it, and it only wastes a second, so well, it can't be helped, I guess. So, time for the last stage of the game. And what an annoying one it is. I choked runs away here before, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, it already starts. But yeah, as I said, nighttime is horrible. And you can see why. It's just really annoying. And it's even worse in the American and European versions. But yeah, thankfully we don't have to do the whole stage like that. That's a very good health drop there. I really need this for this part. Let's hope I don't die getting this golden fortune cat. There we go. Yeah, and that's basically the last stage of the game. All that's left is Dream Castle, which is also another challenge. I could possibly PB if I don't die. So let's see what happens. Because this Wind Castle wall was pretty bad in my PB. As you can see. So this last little entry pass that I'm going to do is basically the only RNG part of the game. It's random where the messenger spawns, and if I get lucky he will spawn at the right spawn point, and if I don't get lucky I will have to reset until he spawns there, because it's not really worth looking for him. Well, I didn't get lucky, so I'm just going to reset. You have infinite attempts on this anyway, but of course you want to get it as quickly as possible. There we go. Was pretty lucky. And that's the last entry pass. All that's left is the final castle and the final bosses. But yeah, this castle can kill you really easily, but I've practiced it a lot, so I hope I don't choke this pretty good run away. It's all just memorization and good execution, which is what makes this game a pretty good speed game, I would say. There's not much RNG, you go really fast. What else could you possibly want? And it's just a really good game in general. Ah, that was a close one. So I'm doing a floaty jump here to catch the platform without having to wait for it. It's pretty dangerous, but I guess I'm just that hardcore. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. It was meant to happen. But yeah, I wasn't meant to PB with this run anyway, so I'm not too mad about dying here. I screwed up this damage boost a little, gotta be careful. So this part is really annoying, as you can see. because the game can randomly decide to let you fall through one of these cracks between the platforms. But I got lucky. Well, lucky is probably the wrong word. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. And that's a danger all on its own. Well, let's hope this was the last death. Would be really nice to PB, but I don't care too much if I don't. So here's another damage boost that I screwed up. You're not meant to get hit a second time here. Waste a little time. Ah, fuck. I had the wrong tackle timing there. But it's alright, this death doesn't waste any time. Well, not much time at least. Time for the worst part. You will see why in a second. Whoa, that was a close one. But yeah, these spike clubs have a very terrible hitbox. It's not that easy to dodge them, but at the same time it's also easy to dodge them, depending on if you get lucky or not. And here comes the worst part. The second most annoying enemies in the game. I gotta be careful here. I don't really want to die. Ah, come on, get off me. And that's why this is the worst part of the castle. But I made it through it. This part is also pretty annoying to do perfectly. Yeah, I'm playing it safe. Because I really don't want to die at this point, even though it means I probably won't PB. Ah, fuck. Well, so much for that PB, huh? Oh well, that's fine. This is my weakest part of this castle. I really hate this stage. But it can't be helped. these arms actually don't do anything. And that's it, just gotta wait for this to be at the right point, and all that's left now is the last impact fight and the final boss. I am not going to BB though. Let's hope I can get a beam in here, but I'm probably going to wait, because he's going to cast his flames next to. So it's worth just waiting that second before you fire your beam. And here comes this one-hit kill attack. But you can easily dodge it. And again, while he does the flames, it's the best time to hit him with the beam. There we go, that's a pretty good pattern. And again, pretty good timing. And here comes... oh, I thought he would do his... well, let's hope I survive it. And that's basically the final boss, because the real final boss is a joke. I know I'm kind of sad after all that I didn't PB. But my early game was pretty bad. Usually the best case scenario is having a level 3 weapon here, because it does more damage to him. But oh well. Beggars can't be choosers, I guess. But yeah, this fight is a joke, and his final form is just as hilariously easy. There we go. But yeah, I could have easily PB'd if I didn't die. But I'm glad I didn't die throughout the run. Oh well, not that often at least. Oh, I missed the cycle there. So what you want to do for this part where you can do damage to him, when he chews you out, or when he spits you out again, you can still do damage to his weak point if you just shoot your bazooka. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it takes a little practice to hit him like this. But usually you shouldn't need more than 3 times to kill him. Ah, fuck. What a waste of time. And that should be it. Oh, come on, I can't believe I screwed that up. Well, it doesn't really matter anymore at this point. Oh, come on. Did you really have to hit me at the end there? But yeah, as I said, usually you're supposed to be done with this boss after entering his mouth 3 times. And that's it. Time is as soon as the screen goes white. And that's it. As you can see, even though I died quite a few times, I'm still well with an estimate. But yeah, that's the current Goemon's Great Adventure any percent route for the Japanese version. And looking at my splits, as you can tell, there's still quite some time to make up for. The current Japanese record at the time of this recording is 1:25 and some seconds. My next goal is getting the sub 130, which should be doable. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave in the credits. But I guess I will get a drink. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, before I forget. If you see this video and aren't playing the game yet, or aren't running the game yet, you can ask me all about it on the #Goemon channel on the Speedruns Live IRC if you have any questions. Sadly, I'm currently the only runner of the Japanese version in the West, and I hope that changes in the future. Maybe if this run gets into ESA, there will be a few more people picking it up, but that's just wishful thinking. It's not like I'm lonely. I have the Japanese Goemon community to keep me company. And for the American version of the game, there's only one runner currently as well. He's also active on the #Goemon IRC, in IRC. But yeah, I'll leave you to the credits, and thanks for watching again. 本当に手強い敵だったでござるよ。おじいさん、召喚マシンみたいな危ないものはもう二度と作らないでね。いやー、す
実はな、あのマシンは欠陥品だったのじゃ。申し訳ないことをしてしまったのう。で、今度はな。
まさか。
これが大量に改良を重ねて作り上げた召喚マシン2号じゃ。
また証拠りもなくそんなもん作りやがって。
また同じことを繰り返すつもりでござるか。
今度こそわての伝員様を召喚できるでな。
おや、なんじゃこの子は。どこの子じゃ。
あ、それうちの子ですわ。魔王って言いますね。
なんだって。
びっくりしたでござる。そっくりだわ。
おねえ、魔王ちゃん追い出したらいけまへんがな。
そのスイッチは召喚。